Ayodhya gleamed under the golden embrace of the sun, its grand spires and magnificent temples standing tall, reflecting the splendor of an age reborn. The streets overflowed with joyous citizens, their hearts brimming with devotion as they showered petals upon the paths leading to the palace. The air vibrated with the rhythm of drums and the triumphant calls of conch shells, while voices rang in unison Jai Shri Ram, a chant of love, reverence, and celebration. Inside the royal courts, the grandeur of the moment was matched only by its solemnity. At the heart of the chamber stood a magnificent throne adorned with gold and encrusted with precious jewels, the carvings telling stories of divine valor. The assembly was a sight to behold. Vanaras, sages, and noblemen all gathered in reverence. Standing closest to Rama were Lakshman, Sita, Bharata, and Hanuman, their expressions mirroring the sacredness of the occasion. Draped in regal attire, Rama stepped forward, his presence serene yet commanding. The sacred Vedic chants resonated through the grand hall as a royal crown was placed upon his head. In that moment, time itself seemed to pause. Sita's eyes shimmered with both joy and pride. Lakshman's gaze remained unwavering in loyalty, and Hanuman, ever the embodiment of devotion, folded his hands in silent reverence. The coronation was not merely an accession to the throne, it was the restoration of Dharma. As Rama took his seat upon the throne, his divine radiance filled the court, a presence both majestic and reassuring. Outside, the cheers of the people resounded across the land, carrying with them the promise of an era unlike any before. Under Rama's rule, Ayodhya flourished like never before. The golden domes of the palace gleamed up under the sun, the streets burst with harmony, and the laughter of children echoed through the courtyards. Merchants bartered in bustling marketplaces, musicians played soft melodies on flutes, and the temples adorned with fragrant flowers stood as sanctuaries of peace. The rivers flowed serenely, nourishing the lands, while the gardens bloomed in vibrant splendor, a testament to the prosperity of the kingdom. From the grand throne, Rama presided over the royal court with wisdom and fairness. Sita, seated beside him, radiated grace, while Lakshman stood by his side, ever the silent guardian. Hanuman, his heart overflowing with devotion, knelt before Rama, his eyes shining with unwavering faith. Ministers and sages listened with deep reverence as the king spoke, his words carrying the weight of righteousness. As evening approached, Rama stepped down from the throne and walked through the streets of Ayodhya, greeting his people with warmth and kindness. He stopped to place a gentle hand on a child's head in blessing, shared a smile with an elderly sage who bowed before him, and listened to the words of his citizens, their love for him evident in their eyes. From the palace balcony, Sita watched with quiet admiration, her heart swelling with pride. When night fell, Rama stood atop the palace terrace, looking over his kingdom. The setting sun cast a golden hue upon the city, its light reflecting off the rooftops and temple domes, as if the heavens themselves were blessing Ayodhya. A gentle breeze carried with it the voices of his people, their chants of Jai Shri Ram, filling the air like a celestial hymn. At dawn, as the first light of day bathed Ayodhya in a soft golden glow, the Sarayu River shimmered, its waters flowing in divine tranquility. The grand temple stood tall, their bells ringing melodiously, calling the faithful to prayer. Sages, devotees, and citizens gathered to offer their gratitude, their voices rising in sacred chants as conch shells echoed across the land. Within the temple, Rama, Sita, Lakshman, and Hanuman stood before the sacred fire, receiving blessings from the learned sages. Draped in royal splendor, Rama exuded both humility and divinity, his golden crown glistening under the temple's sacred light. Sita, seated gracefully beside him, closed her eyes in deep prayer. Lakshman, his hands folded in reverence, remained ever watchful. Hanuman, the eternal servant, knelt before Rama, his soul completely surrendered in devotion. As Rama extended his hands in blessing, the citizens bowed deeply, their eyes filled with tears of joy. The elderly sages, their faces glowing with wisdom, looked upon him with knowing smiles. They saw not just a ruler, but an embodiment of righteousness, a king whose relief would restore balance to the world. The sacred rituals concluded, and Rama and Sita stepped onto the palace balcony. Before them lay Ayodhya, resplendent in the morning light. Its people gathered in devotion, their voices rising in single unifying chant, Jai Shri Ram. Their king had returned, and with him the promise of Rama Rajya, the golden age of righteousness, had begun. As the sun ascended into the heavens, Ayodhya stood in eternal peace, its story echoing through time, an everlasting testament to the triumph of Dharma.